It's your boy Sid, and welcome to the Dallas Cowboys for Life channel. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Speak Your Mind all the time. And as usual, I got special guests with me tonight. Back by popular demand, my man Jay Tuck. And I got a special special guest with us today, Meg Murray from SB Nation Girls Talking Boys. Welcome. Please, Megan, let them know where to find you. Tell them about your channel and so on.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Meg Murray with 4 R's, and also on Mondays and Fridays, the Blogging the Boys podcast feed, wherever you listen to podcasts, we pop up there Mondays and Fridays, and that is in partnership with SB Nation.
Thank you very much. Jay Tuck, my man, my brother from another mother.
I know, right?
Here we go again. Let the fans know where to find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at jtuck151. Also follow me on my Cowboys channel on YouTube, Cowboys Fans Only, and then the Cowboys Fans Only Facebook page that me and Sid actually collaborate on. So starting to build it up. There are a lot of exciting, crazy Cowboys talk going on in the chat. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to that, and let's get to it.
Yeah. So we have another special show today, and of course, we're going to go into the whole COVID and NFL situation. Me and my man Jay Tuck, Megan, we keep going back and forth because I believe there's going to be a season. Jay doesn't think there's going to be a season. He doesn't think the NFL is doing the right things to make sure that we have a season. Please, we need a vote. I need a vote that's going to put me on top.
Come on, Megan. We're counting on you.
To say that we're going to have a season. So, Megan, please chime in.
So I agree with Jay Tuck. However, I think we're still going to have one. There's just too much money on the line. I think they're just going to make it happen. I think they're going to risk it all. I don't think they're doing enough to remedy the situation, but I don't think they care.
Jay. Exactly.
Well, she agreed with me.
No, but she said there's too much. She said there's too much money on the line to not have a season, which is what I've been saying.
But I said they're going to start a season, but I don't think it's going to finish uninterrupted.
Okay, Meg, do you think there's going to be a full season, or you think it's going to be interrupted?
There are too many people that can do too many things wrong. So I could see it getting. At least we're going to miss some games, we're going to have a Cardinals situation where they end up at the strip club somewhere, and then they have to quarantine for X amount of days, and they're going to have to miss a game.
Right.
There's too many irresponsible people.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think I read an article today. They were saying 56 players tested positive, which technically that's 2%, but you have to think about they've only been in training camp thus far, barely. So they haven't been traveling from city to city, state to state. They haven't played any games. And so once you start to add that in, I don't know, Sid. Like I said, we're here, so we're going to talk football. But I'm just saying, I'm coming for a point of view. Shouts out to my man Dave. I know he was on your show the other night. But I'm just saying we have to be realistic. And like I've always told you, Sid, I feel like the NFL really didn't have a plan of action when it comes to football season. Not just the NFL, also the NCAA. They're panicking right now. They're all over the place. And I felt like the NFL always thought that time was going to be on their side, but time is starting to run out. So here we are.
Well, we're definitely going to see. Now, Megan, before I go into this interview more, I want to know a little bit about you. And I want the fans to know about Megan and what made you become a Dallas Cowboys and what makes you keep going on to be able to do your show as you do. And, admit it, it's hard being a Dallas Cowboy fan.
It's not easy. It's very stressful.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to blame it on my parents though. I was born up in Minnesota, St. Paul area, so they were always Vikings fans. And then they moved down here in 1992, and then they, that was the height of all the crazy, the dynasty started. And it was all Cowboys from then on. So they roped me in early.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to all of us. I think Jay's parents too, my father. So yeah, it made my dad rest in peace. But yeah, sometimes I question Dad. Why? But it is what it is. We're fans. So before I continue on, I just want to send a few shout outs in the chat. We got Star Gang. Big shout out to Star Gang. This is who we've done so many long streams with, thinking it's gonna be an hour and 4 or 5 hours later. So big shout out to them. I want to shout out to Nate Rosario. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name wrong. What's up, Nate? And Carlito Montana. What's up, man? Thank you for joining the chat. If you guys have any questions for Megan or myself or J Tuck, feel free to ask. And if Megan, once there's a question, I'll let you know so that way you can respond live. So, guys, we're going to jump right into it. So, Randy Gregory. Right. So, Randy Gregory has come out and he's released a statement. And I'll read the statement so we're all on the same page. And so everyone out there who didn't see it, I really miss playing football and being a player in the NFL. I'm doing everything that's being asked of me. I'm in great shape physically, mentally, and emotionally, and I'm being held back from furthering my career because of the COVID and the testing. I've been ready to play and test for months, but I've still gotten no help to resolve my reinstatement. I don't think I need to know any further than that. We all know what he's basically saying. He's getting no help from the NFL to try and get reinstated. Do you guys want him back? And do you think that he's doing all the right things to try and come back? And do you think with them lifting the whole weed situation and so on, do you think that we should allow him to come back and play for the Dallas Cowboys? Megan, I'll let you kick it off first.
100% he needs to come back. I've been a long time Randy Gregory fan because my alliance in college football is Nebraska. So I've been watching him forever. I absolutely love the guy. I think he has done everything that he's been asked. All he wants to do is be with his team. So that's a pretty big driving factor. He could easily have just been taken his punishment and been like, all right, I'm done. I'm never playing football again. But he's doing the work. He's putting in the time, and he should definitely come back.
Okay, Jay, what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I agree with Megan. I believe he absolutely deserves not a second chance, but another chance, I should say, to actually play football. I mean, if you think about it, I don't want to kind of compare backgrounds to backgrounds, but Aldon Smith was approved to come back. I don't see why Randy Gregory shouldn't. And there's been other players who've been approved to come back as well. So it kind of forces me to believe this might be just something that's between Jerry and the commissioner. And it's just not a priority right now for the commissioner to do, because I feel like he could easily press the button and allow Randy Gregory to come back, or if not, at least be around the team. I think when you're going through something like a recovery with an addiction, different things like that, being surrounded by good quality people and having structure is the most impactful thing you can go through. So I think taking that away from him for no apparent reason actually hurts Randy Gregory more than allow him to actually come back and be with the team. Let him come practice at least, and then say maybe he can't play until week 3 or week 4, but let him be surrounded with the Cowboys. I don't know what the issue is, which makes me believe it's something between Jerry and Roger, which we of course know they don't get along. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate because that's what I do.
Okay.
I gotta, I think Randy Gregory should definitely get a chance to come back. He put up some great numbers. I mean, the last time he played in 2018, he had 6 sacks. Combo tackles 25, solos 19, assists 6. I mean, this guy he's still young. He's 27 years of age. He still has a few years ahead of him. But the issue I have is that he can't stay out of trouble. Okay?
Well, is it necessarily trouble, or is it kind of sober when it comes to marijuana? And since the NFL has removed that policy, is there really an issue? I mean, like I said, if you kind of compare and contrast the issues that Aldon Smith was having compared to Randy Gregory's problems were a lot more minimal, I would say, compared to Aldon Smith. So,
yeah, but he's been suspended 4 times. 4, not once, not twice. I mean, you get suspended. Okay, let's flip it. And Megan, please, I want you to chime in, please. So, yes, I understand that weed is now pretty much legalized everywhere, and we get it. But as a kid, when my father used to beat me for something, I would think about doing it the next time, right? Now, I would do it a second time, but then the beating the second time would be worse than the first time and this is what I'm talking about. So Randy Gregory kept doing exactly what the NFL told him not to do. So constantly, he's not a kid. He's a grown man. So if you know that this is something the NFL is not asking you to do, and it's in your contract, and it's why do you continue doing it and jeopardizing your career? And yes, I get it. It's legal now and it's more accepted. But shouldn't he have done the right things to be reinstated back then and continue on the right track?
Well, I'll take that question. And of course, I don't want to be a drug advocate, but what I'm trying to explain to people who believe Randy Gregory doesn't deserve another chance and that he's on drugs and this and that, like, he's playing NFL football. Like, I mean, if you played the sport, you go through pain. And so I think, and shout out to my man Carlito, he just posted that, like, weed's better than Vicodin and the different pills and different things that some players take. So I think Randy Gregory, for some players, is like a coping mechanism for him. So, I mean, it's really hard to judge because we really don't know Randy Gregory per se as far as the man. But I would say when you have to look at the grand scheme of things, what he was doing was very minimal, especially since the policy has been removed. So he deserves to get another chance. And I mean, how many chances have Josh Gordon received? He's been back numerous times as well. So I think he's possibly coming back again. I think I saw something where Seattle's talking about picking him back up again. So I'm like, okay, so why is it so different when it comes to Randy Gregory? And the only thing I can think of is because he has a star on his helmet.
Okay. Megan?
I mean, I definitely agree. And but who is he really hurting, though? That's the thing. He's not even hurting himself. Right. So what's the big deal? I never understood that. And I'm really glad they took that that policy away. All the guys are low key faded.
Right.
So,
well, if we're looking at the way Zeke said it faded because of alcohol. He didn't say liquor.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna jump into the chat. So Jersey Boy Podcast, and I'm pretty sure I know who that is. He said so big shout out to Meg, no shout out to Jay Tuck. So Dave also said, hey Meg, I won't say hi to Tuck. Obviously we know that's the same person. So Carlito Montana said, Sid, some people gotta smoke, bro. I get it. I get it, but I think there's a time and place for everything, right?
I mean, because you think about one of the model citizens who was Calvin Johnson. I mean, once his career was over, he came out and said that he smoked religiously during his NFL season. I mean, it's really a slippery slope. Like, granted, they always had the rule, and in some states it's illegal, in some states it's not. So I get the big picture of it. But is it really that big of a deal? Like Megan would say, he's only hurting himself. I mean, if he was coming out there, high as a kite and hurting other people and playing, like, I'd much rather Randy Gregory come out and play on marijuana than come out and play on steroids and different things like that, where he's amped up and could have a heart attack and fall out. So I just don't understand what's taking so long with this policy. And I honestly think it's something between Jerry and Roger, where it's just not a priority for Roger right now.
Okay, Megan, do you think that it is an issue between Jerry Jones and Randy Gregory? Do you think there's more behind this whole situation? What do you think?
There has to be more. I'm not sure what it is, but if Aldon Smith can get reinstated, that seemed pretty easy.
Yeah.
What's the holdup?
Yeah.
There's got to be something else.
Well, I think we're waiting to see if there's going to be a season. That's my opinion.
But what would be the benefit of that? Waiting to see if there's going to be a season just to reinstate little old Randy Gregory.
Yeah, I believe if you reinstate him, you got to pay him something, right?
So you think the Cowboys are wanting to delay it?
I think so. I think there's some of that is coming into play. It's probably something that's not. Listen, we know that Roger Goodell and Jerry Jones have their differences and so on, but I'm pretty sure at the end of it, they probably discuss the situation and want to everything. The whole Dak situation and the whole Randy, there's too much going on right now in the NFL, across the NFL, to make rational decisions. So I think that's definitely come into play.
I think Dave just posted that.
Yeah.
Goodell versus Jones. Aldon Smith was arrested while on suspension. And so, I mean, you think about Antonio Brown, he got his sentence. He got 8 games, but he's also back. So it's like, what's the holdup with Randy Gregory? What is it?
Like, he's small potatoes in comparison to a lot of those guys.
Exactly,
So so there's got to be more that we're not. Listen, the NFL covers up so much stuff anyways, so there's got to be more to this than we're being
Right.
told.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
agree.
I totally
I mean,
agree.
So I understand Randy Gregory's frustration. I mean, especially if he's in limbo and really doesn't know what's going on, I would be frustrated too. But it seems like, hopefully, knock on wood, he got his thing together and he's ready to get back to playing football, which from a football aspect, I think he's going to help us tremendously if he's able to get back on the field. I mean, if you think about that opposite end position of DeMarcus Lawrence, you're going to have Randy Gregory, you could possibly have Alden Smith and Tyron Crawford and Bradley and or Dorrance Armstrong. So that's a lot of depth at that defensive end position, which we drastically need.
Okay. So we're gonna jump into just another quick topic that I saw come up right before I jumped on. Your man, Van Der Esch. Okay. So you heard that he's basically come out and said that he wouldn't mind jumping in and playing middle linebacker. What do you think about that? And do you think that, he's come out and he says he feels good. I feel good. I feel my neck. My neck feels good. I'm 100%. I'm ready to go. And I'm putting it out there that I also think that I want to fill in as a middle linebacker as well. What do you guys think about that move? I mean, I don't think it's a bad move. But I don't think he's 100%. I've said this before. Neck injury is no joke.
Right.
What do you think, Megan? Do you think that this would be a right move? Do you think that he would be a good in that position? And do you think that he's coming back 100%?
I think he is coming back 100%. I don't see what he has to gain by lying about like how he's doing. If he wasn't doing well and he came back, that would be pretty apparent. But as far as moving to middle linebacker, why not? Like if you think you can bring something to the table for that, like McCarthy is all about playing people where they fit best. Try it out. Maybe he kills it. Maybe that's like maybe we could be the Hot Boys again. Like that'd be cool.
Right.
What do you think about it, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about a neck or any injury. Hell, I mean, I damn near hurt myself yesterday. You don't know until you're back in the fire of things. I mean, of course, you feel good and you think, okay, well, I'm perfectly fine. But he really won't know until he's starting to get back in that full course collision. And will they have that type of practice situations in training camp? I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have like the blue and white scrimmage, but how hard are they really going? So I think for LVE, it's going to be important just for him to get that contact again. So it might not be until like week 3 or week 4 after a full-on collision we say, okay, that was a hard hit, but my neck is still solid, because every little thing you're going to be thinking about the neck. Now, as far as the middle linebacker position, I thought that was going to be the move anyways. There was always talk about Jalen Smith shifting to the outside, being more of an outside linebacker. So I think LVE and Sean Lee being the middle linebacker position, if we're going to the 3-4, which I think we are. I mean, we discussed this the other night. I think we're going to start off 4-3, maybe slide to the 3-4. So I think LVE will be naturally a great middle linebacker. He's very cerebral. He knows, can call the plays and everything, can be that general. And he can pretty much pass that baton from Sean Lee to LVE for the future of the Dallas Cowboys at that linebacker position. So I'm excited. I mean, I think LVE was something we drastically missed last season. Because like I always said, I think Jalen Smith and LVE, they feed off each other. And so it's kind of like you need both of them out there. And I think once you have both of them out there, it's a very dynamic linebacker crew.
Okay. I just want to comment on Carlito Montana, IMO. If he wasn't healthy, he wouldn't be talking like this. Listen, I think some players, listen, if you're doing the thing that you love and you don't want to jeopardize your career and you're going to go out there. I played football. I've done it. Right. I'm good, coach.
Yeah.
Because you want to get out there and you love the game so much. So, do I think that Van Der Esch is 100%? No. Do I think that he's able to go out and play? Yes. He won't. I don't see him making. I think he'll be good at that position. I'm just afraid of him re-injuring his neck, because that neck injury, we've discussed this before, Jay. He had this from college, and I'm sure, Megan, you're aware of this. So Now he comes into the NFL, injures it again, gets surgery, and we all know that the surgery is not something that you fully recover from.
Right. Sometimes with injuries, you don't tell yourself if you're ready. Your injury will tell you if you're ready. So, especially with the neck or back, I mean, we all remember a certain quarterback when he got hurt. He said, "Oh, if this was the regular season, I would be willing to come back next week." And then he was out for 6 to 7 weeks. And so you really can't gauge it until it happens. So hopefully, fingers crossed that he is 100% because that changes a lot of things in Dallas.
Megan, what do you think? Do you think he's 100%?
Well, I guess I did say I think he's 100%, but yeah, I think he is. He's good enough to go in and play. We'll know more once that actually happens. But I think he wouldn't be talking like this if he wasn't like ready to go.
Okay.
Whether that's 100%, 75%, his 75% is probably better than a lot of people's 100%. So
I think my fear is that one good hit. You know, that's all. Sometimes that's all it takes. Is
everyone one good hit away from being out. So
I mean, you think about Sean Lee. I mean, it's just one quick turn and it could be a hamstring. So you just never know in the game of football. So you really just have to hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jay, we're gonna talk about something. I know you're ready.
Oh, okay, bring it on.
I know you're ready. So we're gonna talk about our man,
Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. We are not talking about Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
Let's talk about. Yeah, please no.
my man, Mr. Cooper.
All right.
So Mr. Cooper came out this week in an interview, and he basically said he was happy about getting Lamb on his team, and he said it was a great pickup. He says you have to draft the best player. Basically, they drafted the best player on board. Everybody wants that. He's a receiver, and he says that him, Michael Gallup, and Cooper will get over 1,000 yards this year each. So, do you guys think that this is jumping the gun a little bit? Do you think that this is going to put a lot of pressure on Dak and a lot of pressure on CeeDee Lamb? Now, I know. I looked at the stats. Cooper put up 1,000 yards last year. Gallup put up over 1,000 yards last year. CeeDee Lamb put up over 1,000 yards in his college. Now, he's coming to an NFL. College and NFL, we all know, is a different game. Totally. But do you think between the three of them, they'll put up more than 1,000 yards this year? Meg, please.
Well, I will say over on Girls Talking Boys, we are all about Team 40 Burger. So if we're going to get 40 points a game, we're going to get 1,000 yards out of these guys each, for sure.
Wow. So
in stone. Quote me.
Okay. Woof. Megan's bringing it with the fire. All right. So Jay, I don't even have to ask you this question. Go ahead, Jay. Go.
I'm gonna have to say nah to Amari Cooper. I don't see all three of them getting 1,000 yards. I know my man Nick's is watching, so we have a little side bet going on. But I will say this about Amari Cooper, that I said CeeDee Lamb will have a better statistical year than Amari Cooper will have.
Oof.
Yeah.
Now that's some hot fire.
Yeah. I'm with Knicks. I say Cooper. I think no. CeeDee Lamb's.
Hey, the more wings, the merrier, man. I like wings.
Yeah. I already lost wings to Knicks, so we have a little side bet, Megan. That I had a side bet with Knicks, another topic, but I don't think CeeDee Lamb will put up 1,000 yards this year. All
right, y'all owe me wings when he does.
See, there you go.
Oh man, I gotta keep. Anybody keeping notes of this? Because I gotta keep some notes about.
I'll start keeping track.
I'll remember
who I owe some wings to when I go to Dallas.
It's all recorded.
Yeah. We all have it live stream. What did Spoonie say?
I think Spoonie was kind of quiet on this one, surprisingly. Normally he has my back, but I don't think he did on this one.
Okay, so Megan, you think who? Okay, here's another question: who's gonna lead? Okay, you already said that Lamb. Who do you think is going to lead with the most yardage this year? You think CD is going to have the most yards in all the receivers, Jay?
I think it'll be Coop.
You think?
I think.
Yeah.
I say CD will.
So you're saying Coop. Megan, I'm with you. I'm saying Coop.
The reason why I say CD is because you got to think about, for a while, Amari Cooper is going to get the number one corner. He's going to get the focus of the attention, which is going to probably allow CD to probably get the third corner in the slot. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities. And you think about the season that Randall Cobb had last year, and then also the previous season that Cole Beasley had. Dak likes hitting the slot. And you have a dynamic player like CeeDee Lamb that's far more dynamic than Randall Cobb was. If he gets the ball in his hands with the split second, that could go to the end zone. So that's why I'm starting to put my focus on CeeDee Lamb, which I think he was a tremendous draft pick, and that's the reason why, because Dak favors the slot, the underneath plays and different things like that. So I think eventually CeeDee Lamb's going to get off to a hard start. But all three of them having 1,000 yards, I don't think so, because one, hopefully we're not playing from behind like we were all last year. So I don't think we're going to receive a lot of those soft coverages. And then two, we still have one. The key area is how does Mike McCarthy utilize all these weapons? I mean, we talk about CeeDee Lamb and Gallup and Cooper, but we forget about Blake Jarwin. So there's so many different dynamics to this team this year that we didn't have last year. It's going to be interesting how it's all spread and utilized.
It's funny. It's funny you were saying that. Go ahead, Megan. I didn't mean go ahead. I saw you were about to say something. Go ahead, Meg.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, as Zeke said today, we're all gonna eat. So I don't see the problem. Let's go. This is Kellen Moore's dream.
Listen, you know what? And it's funny that you were talking about Zeke, because as I was sitting here contemplating, I'm like, wait a minute. We got two weapons in the backfield, plus now we got all these receivers. How are we gonna? We got to spread the ball as much as we can. So, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Jay. I think that maybe you're right. I think with Zeke and Pollard being back there, we're definitely going to utilize on running the ball. And some games these guys won't.
Because that's the hardest dynamic for us to understand, is that, we know primarily Mike McCarthy's offenses are very pass heavy. Like, they don't use the run. But he's never had a weapon like Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. So it's like, I hope that we're not too pass heavy. And I hope that's not the case, because like I said, we still got a beast in the O-line that we can just take over games. So I think the idea, this is me coaching, this is me getting ready for Madden 21. I'm gonna get up on you early by 14, 20 points, and then I'm gonna feed those two beasts in the backfield, and we're gonna get out with a win and put our mask on and walk out the stadium and get on to the next week. So I mean, I think that's gonna be the game plan, is to get off to hot starts and then use Zeke and Pollard to close the deal.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to jump into the chat here for a second. I want to send a shout out to my man Spoonie.
Oh, Spoon in the house.
Big salute to Spoon. My man. Sorry we didn't. I'll apologize still. Sorry we didn't get Adams, but Spoonie, I told you it wasn't gonna happen. So I'm putting it out there. Sorry, Spoonie. I want to send a shout out to Bluff City Cowboys. These guys are new to the YouTube channel. Definitely go check them out. Click that subscribe button. So Bluff City says, we got over 1,400 yards between Witten and Cobb that have to be made up. Not crazy to think that Lamb can get 1,000 of those.
Exactly.
My guy.
Yeah.
There we go. So
CeeDee Lamb.
Yes, he already has a CD jersey on.
So let's jump. All right, whose jersey are you wearing? Because I'm sure people are wondering if you got the Lamb or you got the Dez.
You already know what number my Lamb is.
I know, number 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the Dez on. So since we've mentioned Dez's name, so Megan, I heard you. Would you like to see Dez back, Megan?
I am outside his house with a boombox. Come back. I miss you.
Meg, if you do that, please send me a picture, because that would be funny within itself. Yeah, I miss Dez. And you know what? I don't know if you guys saw, but he was live the other day, and he didn't look well. Like, he actually looked like he was about to bawl. Like, he looked like he was about to cry. I didn't catch the whole thing, but from what I did see in the picture that at the end of the cap, he looked like he was really serious. And what he was talking about, he seemed that he was going through something. And I think that he's not sure about what his future is in the NFL. Do you guys think that somebody is going to pick him up?
Yeah, I mean, I have a hunch, and I forgot who sent this to me on Twitter because it's a private message, but there was a screenshot of a picture that Dez had, and it was like a highlight. I think it was Romo throwing him the ball, but Kirk Cousins was tagged into it. And it was just like, oh, Kirk Cousins. Like, why would Kirk Cousins be tagged in a video with Dez Bryant highlights? And so, I don't know. Maybe I would think with all these players opting out, with these roster splits, with COVID and everything, someone has to bring Dez Bryant in. My prayers is just, as long as it's not Philly, the division, I'm okay with it. But I feel like he deserves a shot. At least bring him into camp, see what he can do. If he's horrible and he's a bust, okay, we can accept that. But I think a guy like Dez deserves a chance. Now, granted, he doesn't help himself much on social media, but I mean, from a football perspective, this guy has always been a warrior. It's just who he is at heart. And so just bring him into camp. Let's see what he can do. I just don't think it's going to be in Dallas, to be honest with you, unfortunately. I think, like Megan said earlier, once they put that 88 on CeeDee Lamb, because imagine Dez coming back and being like an 83 or something like that. No, it's not. No. Like, if he comes back, he needs to get the 88 jersey on. So I just don't see it happening in Dallas, but I would love the opportunity to see Dez play with a great quarterback like a Drew Brees like he was going to do originally, or go to Packers and play with that bad man in Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's one of those type of players. So I wish him the best. Or come to Kansas City. I'll take him on.
Hey, I would love to see Patty throw him some bombs.
Exactly. They worked out together, so.
Well, okay, so I was going to say, we had D-Rob on Girls Talking Boys a couple months ago, and he was telling us how great Dez looks at workouts, and he's been working out with Patty, and he's been working out with Dak, of course, and he hasn't looked better since 2014. So he needs to get it in somewhere, and anyone who does take a chance on him is gonna be so lucky.
Right. Because I know some people watch NBA basketball. When I think about Dez, I think about how kind of like Carmelo Anthony was treated. Like, one of those.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, they're just we don't understand why are they not in the league. Like, granted, we know they can compete, and so once they get their opportunity and things start to go, you see what Carmelo's doing right now, and that'll be exciting for me. Like, I would love to watch Dez play somewhere else, like AFC. Like I said, don't come to Philly, man, because I wouldn't be able to handle it.
I don't think he would want to do that, but hey, maybe he'll go up to the Giants. Jason Garrett really likes having Cowboys up there. So
yeah, so the Giants, I could handle the Giants. Okay, like Giants, but not Philly and not
Washington.
Their name, the Washingtons. Nah.
No. You know what I don't understand? Like, Dez didn't do anything wrong. Right. So, and I just don't understand why it is that nobody's picked him up. Like, he didn't get suspended. He's not in trouble with the law.
His teammates love him too.
Right.
So bad for the locker room?
Right.
No, sorry.
Because if Dez was such a distraction and a horrible person, Pat Mahomes would not associate his brand with Dez Bryant. Dak Prescott would not associate his brand with Dez Bryant. So everyone loves him. I mean, I see Jalen Smith, he talks about him all the time. So the players see it, the fans see it. I just don't know what the organizations are waiting for. Like I said, just bring him in for a tryout, let him compete, and see what happens. But I guarantee you, if you bring Dez Bryant into a tryout, into a locker room, he's not leaving easily.
I really encourage anyone to go check out D-Rob. He posts a lot of Dez's workouts. He looks great. And coming from someone who works with incredible athletes, if he's telling you that this is one of the best or some of the best play he's seen from him, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's D-Rob always open. Go find him and watch some Dez videos. Reminisce.
Definitely go check out D-Rob. I want to send a shout out to Soul Flow Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in. He just said, my guys, always, we're going to have Soul Flow.
I showed my wife the picture, man. She's on board with remodeling the man cave. She's like, I love her man cave.
So, Megan, have you seen Soul Flow's setup?
No.
Okay.
Is it better than in J-Tux?
Oh, yeah. Way better.
Wow. Yeah, well, I'll send you the link on Twitter. Definitely go
Please
check out this guy. His guy's setup is insane. I'm jealous too. So, yeah. So, Soul Flow is in the house. What up? So, with that being said, how do you think Dak is handling the pressure of everything that's been going on? Like, he's coming out, he's being Dak. I don't care. He's being who we know. He's not letting the media get to him. He's going out there doing his thing. I know you guys saw he built a football field behind his house, and supposedly he was working off season with a lot of these guys. Listen, he just, every time I'm reading something about Dak, he's getting more of my respect. I'm falling in love with him even more as a Cowboys player, and I want to see him.
I see it in your eyes, man. I see it in your eyes.
Yeah. Listen, you see the hearts flowing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, listen, do you guys think that Dak is doing the right thing going into the season and doing what he needs to be doing so that, and he's brushing all the negative off and moving forward? What do you guys think?
Dak's a consummate professional. Like, he's a team first guy. He doesn't care about himself over his teammates. The fact that he put a football field in his backyard does not surprise me, just because, like, the more work he can put in, he's always trying to get better. And Jane Slater, who's a friend of his, we had her on, and she just like was singing his praises about how much he's doing to prepare for this season. I can't, again, all the love, hard eyes coming out of my eyes as well. Like, Dak is the guy. I was so upset that they didn't get that deal done.
Jay is Jay wants Aaron Rodgers. That's what Jay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you see,
though. That's different. People act like I'm trying to get rid of Dak for Eli Manning or Matt Ryan.
Eli Manning.
Like,
I know you didn't say that.
That's what I'm saying. That's how people were treating me. Like, oh, I can't believe Aaron. I'm like, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's not just like, any old quarterback. But
he's also Aaron Rodgers. Like, how many more years?
Yeah, but so
he's still Aaron Rodgers.
He's still Aaron Rodgers, and that's what I was saying. But I was saying, like, if something was to go astray with Dak, then Aaron Rodgers would be a nice plug in to have. But that's not going to happen, so I'm not going to go there. But as you said, like, Dak is an incredible pro. I think people jumped me on Twitter today. I was just talking about his endorsements money. And everything. Oh, you're calling Dak? I'm like, no, like, he has tons of endorsements. I feel like the gap between Dak's endorsements and then versus like the next player, which will be Zeke, is a huge gap. But there's a reason for that, because he's been branded since he came in to the NFL. He's always carried himself like a leader and a pro, so a lot of brands trust him. That's all I was trying to say, people. Relax.
He does a good job of staying out of trouble for
exactly.
many opportunities as he has.
To be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, he never really has a slip of the tongue or different things because he's always trying to be trapped. So I like Dak. I feel like Dak is going to be a leader. My biggest concern about Dak going into the season is trying to have that mentality that he has to still prove something. And so I don't want him pressing. I mean, I feel like personally Dak has done everything already to win my trust as far as being a starting quarterback of the future and also for the team locker room. But I don't want him going in and making him feel that he has to make a specific throw or force throws to make Jerry and Steven really want him to show that he deserves his contract. I want him to be able to play his game, utilize these weapons the best of his ability, and really run this offense and be the captain of the ship. But I feel like there's going to be that type of aspect to it where he's going to be like, okay, I'm about to really show these guys, why they deserve to pay me. And sometimes you tend to press a little bit than you usually would. So that's my only biggest concern. But I don't think Dak's going to be the type of guy who's going to be skipping practices and doing that whole ordeal. No, that's not his makeup. So
no.
I love how people actually thought he would like hold out. Come on.
No, I didn't think it was going to happen anyways. Listen, I just want to jump in the chat for a second. I want to send a shout out to MT all the way up from Kingston. I want to send a shout out to Kid. Now, I call this guy Kid because I don't know if you guys remember Kid and Play. No?
Yeah, House Party.
House Party. This kid looks like Kid. So big shout out to him. And I want to shout out to my man Everell. Big shout out to these guys in Kingston. Thanks for tuning in, man. So, Megan, where do you think the Dallas Cowboys will land going into the 2020 season? Do you see them making the playoffs? Do you see them making the Super Bowl? Now, Jay, I think it was your post today. You ended up saying, would you want the Dallas Cowboys to win a Super Bowl with no fans?
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah. So Megan, what do you think? Like me, I just want to win a Super Bowl. I don't care if no fans. I don't care if it's half a season. Just get us to a Super Bowl.
I mean, it will keep me from like selling my car for a ticket, so I guess that could be like a plus side.
Right.
But allow me to channel my guy, Scooter Magruder here. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
Hey.
Hey. Okay. And
I believe that too, by the way. I didn't just say it for fun.
So, because you know what? I've been saying it for the last 3 years. And I'm just tired of repeating it because every year.
To be fair, I do say it every year, but this time.
But you know what? Last year, the Dallas Cowboys looked good on paper, and everybody said it. The Dallas Cowboys are going to make the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. But I think, to be honest, we haven't looked as good as we do now. With the weapons we have, with what the coaching staff that we have, the moves that we've done. So I believe that the Dallas Cowboys have a huge chance to make it this year to the Super Bowl. And even the media, like the reporters are saying it, and they're saying that they look amazing on paper with the weapons that they have and the changes that Mike McCarthy's bringing to the table. Jay, do you think that Mike McCarthy is putting the right things in place? And you saw his interview. He looks serious. I'm sorry.
Right. And I was going to tweet this, but I was like, let me say some stuff for the show, actually. But I feel like, as I thought today, Mike McCarthy is critical for the future of Dak Prescott. And what I mean by that, if Mike McCarthy can come in and maybe build an amazing relationship with Dak, then that might force Dak to possibly consider reconciling this whole contract dispute and maybe settling. Now, that inverse relationship, if there's a huge rift between the two, I think that could definitely hurt. So I'm really depending.
You've been listening too much Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So if it's more Aaron Rodgers, if Dak turns into Aaron Rodgers 2.0, then that can cause a huge problem. So I think Mike McCarthy and how he handles Dak is going to be very critical for the season. But I think that's the reason why a lot of Cowboys fans are hopeful. It's just because of a new staff. It's a new look. And I knew for me, like, I was kind of like, okay, whatever, it's football, same old Cowboys stuff. But when we handled the draft a lot differently than normally it would have went, I was like, okay, maybe we're doing something a little bit different, because I guarantee you, if we were still under Jason Garrett era, CeeDee Lamb would be a Philadelphia Eagle right now. We would have passed on. We probably took a defensive end or maybe a long snapper or whatever we needed at the time. But I felt like Mike McCarthy taking CeeDee Lamb and with these draft picks, it lets us know that, hey, this is a different regime. And so I feel like that's where I'm getting stuck. When we talk on these shows, Sid, I keep thinking under the Garrett regime, like, okay, this is how things typically are. It's a brand new regime, brand new coaching staff. So I think that's what a lot of excitement is about. Now, my tweet was saying, if we go to the Super Bowl and there's no fans there, like, it's not going to be the same. Like I said, I live here in Kansas City. I was in Miami for the Super Bowl 2 days before, and I left and came back because I never wanted to go to a Super Bowl until it was the Cowboys. So let the Cowboys go to Tampa this year and the fans can't go. Like, I'm going to be devastated. I mean, imagine like us winning the Super Bowl and there's no parade because of COVID. Like, that's not what I want. Like, I want a full out real Super Bowl with no excuses, no asterisks, none of that. But a lot of people say they just want us to have it. So we'll see what we get.
Well, people don't want us to have it ever. If you're not with us, you hate us. So
exactly.
Listen, Meg, you got to come back on the show. I love the way you think. It's a pleasure having you on. Listen, Jonathan, I just want to chime in. Jonathan wrote, do you believe that all three receivers will have 100K yards each? If so, what does that mean? Does that mean less carries for 21? We actually had discussed this earlier. And Jay Tuck ended up saying that he doesn't believe that all three receivers will have over 1,000. I do, and so does Megan. But we still believe that, Zeke will eat. Now
we're all eating.
Well, I saw they were talking about an interview with Tony Pollard that possibly he could play a lot more in receiver. And I know you mentioned that before, Sid. So maybe he could possibly be that fourth receiver. I personally don't like that.
Zeke catches the ball too.
Yeah, and Zeke catches the balls. That's what I think is like Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. They have so many different weapons to utilize. Like I said, in 3 weeks in Madden, man, I can't just wait to use them all. And so I know they're going to do the same exact thing. Jonathan, you heard me. 3 weeks and counting. So
Yeah. Jonathan and you guys are gonna have a rematch. So
Yeah.
Megan, I have to ask, do you play Madden?
No.
No. Listen. Nothing would surprise me nowadays. That's why I ask, because there is some girls out there that play Madden.
Oh, definitely. I'm not coordinated like in real life. I'd be fumbling like in digital life too. Like there's no way I'd be good at it.
Jonathan's cracking up. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, what do you think the Dallas Cowboys record will be going into this season? So, I've had it at 12-4. Jay, you had it, I believe, at 11-5, if I remember clearly, right?
Yeah, 11-5, right.
So, Megan, what do you see, and who do you see us having a problem with going into the season? Do you think our first game we're going to have a problem?
No, I have us winning the first game. So we actually did a breakdown. I wish I had it like on hand because I wrote down like where I thought they were going to win and lose.
Okay.
I had them at 10-6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I will say this bird gauntlet is interesting to me. I have us losing to the Seahawks. I think is the first loss that I have, and then the Ravens down the line.
Okay.
But, yeah,
just...
we did a breakdown. If you go back on Girls Talking Boys, I think it's like one of our first episodes, or it was right after the schedule released. But we did a breakdown. Now I have to go back and look at the schedule.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. So we got Seattle. We got our first game is against LA. Second game is Atlanta. Do you have us winning it against Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. So then we got what you just said, Seattle. You have us losing at Seattle. Then we got the Browns. Please don't say you have us losing against the Browns.
No.
Oh, okay. But anyways, I'm 50-50 on that. I have to say, because we lose. Anyways, I don't want to go into it. I want to get your opinion. New York, did we lose or win?
I have us sweeping the Giants and the Washington team.
Oh, and the Eagles?
I have us splitting it with the Eagles. So I think we lose on the road.
No.
I know.
Okay, so Cardinals, do we win or lose?
I think I had us losing to the Cardinals.
Okay. I can see that too. Washington, you said sweep. One. Okay, well, Eagles will probably... I see us winning the first game and maybe losing the second game, like we did last year. What about...
No.
What about Pittsburgh? That was a game I was supposed to go to.
I was supposed to go to LA, so I'm upset. I think I had us beating the Steelers.
Okay, I had that too. I had us losing.
I don't want to go back on what I said.
No, it's cool. Jay, are we winning or losing against Minnesota?
But see, here's the thing now, Sid. Our predictions that we made, we have to completely blow it up. Because it's like, all right, I had us losing at Seattle. But going to Seattle and playing in front of nobody is a completely different ballgame.
You make a brilliant point.
Right. And that's where it comes to, like, even with you watch the NBA, like, having no fans changes it. So I'm not sure how does that impact football. And I think it's really going to come down to talent per talent. I mean, you don't have to shush the sixth man. You're just out there playing. And so I think with our talent pool, we have enough to compete with everybody. So a lot of it's going to be up in the air because I felt like, okay, that first game, I think I had us losing to the Rams. But if we're playing the empty stadium versus the Rams, well, that takes away from it because I was thinking, it's the Rams home opener and their brand new stadium and it's going to be wild and crazy, but it's not going to be that way. So I don't know. But as far as
I would just say that even if it's a home opener, the Cowboys fans will travel to LA. Myself was going to be.
I thought LA said they're not going to allow fans, or was that Vegas?
No, I'm just saying, like, if things were normal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If it was a regular game, then we would definitely take over that stadium. So
you're thinking that
there's so many Cowboys fans in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think that having no fans in some of these stadiums is definitely going to change the outcome of each game. Like, do you
Yeah.
think that my 12-4 record is now going to be in shambles because of this? In your opinion, Megan, Jay?
Yeah, mine. I feel like mine is in shambles now that he mentioned that. I really didn't even think about it because a lot of the reason is we had such a hard time going up to, was it CenturyLink in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and that their crowd is definitely an X factor.
Right.
So that was part of the reason why I had us losing that game.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you mention,
Yeah, and it's gonna be weird. Cause I mean, imagine going to Philly in a rivalry game, but there's nobody there,
and
so
not getting garbage thrown at you,
Yeah, you know,
it's gonna be weird.
no batteries, no one's booing Santa Claus and none of that. Like, it's gonna be a completely different atmosphere. So it's gonna be, I don't know.
Well, okay, I understand what you guys are saying but I'm obviously from fans watching from home and everything like that. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the NHL has fan sounds. So when they score a goal, you hear it's like a crowd is actually there. And I was watching a game last night. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So that'll bring some kind of fan feeling to us watching at home.
I don't think I heard any fan sounds at the Stars game.
No, I was watching the Montreal Canadiens, and they won last night against the Penguins. And there was, when they scored, they had some cheering sounds, and it was actually interesting.
Are they in Ontario or Edmonton?
Who?
Montreal. Like, where they're playing, their bubble.
Oh, I was about to say, what? No. No, I'm not sure where.
No, I know where Montreal is, I swear.
No, I'm not sure where they're playing. And if
Okay.
anybody does, please chime in on the chat.
Well, now I'm going to have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting.
But with it, it's not going to be the same. I mean, here in Kansas City, it gets up to 133 decibels. Like, you can't do that playing crowd noise. So it's a different atmosphere when it's fans. Like, the ground shakes. Like, you can't hear the person next to you. Like, that's how it really is. And so if you don't have that X factor, like Megan mentioned, in Seattle, and it's just us versus Seahawks, I mean, it could go so many different ways. I mean, you think about even what's going on in the NBA right now, the Phoenix Suns, who were just like the last place team, are just there. They're on a hot streak because there's no pressure. There's no one booing them, or there's no pressure mounting onto those teams. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I'll keep my 11 wins. So I would say we beat Pittsburgh, but you're really not going to know until you really see how this looks. And that's what kind of hurts not having a preseason or a Hall of Fame game tonight, like we should have had, and I should have been there right now.
It was going to be the Nooch's time to shine.
I know. And see Jimmy get his gold jacket, and I'm just, But without actually being able to see what does NFL season look like during the pandemic, like, it's really hard to judge. I mean, we're just going to wake up on September 14th, Chiefs versus Texans, and just find out. Like, is there going to be fans? Is there going to be fans?
I don't know how it is in the States, but here in Canada, there's a vaccine right now that's at the third stage, and supposedly it's not a silver bullet, but it's going to prevent. And so I don't know how you guys have it in the States. Do you guys have the same thing? Have they announced that there's a vaccine?
I have been exhausted on all of it, so I don't feel asked to answer that question.
Yeah. We have a great response to everything. We're really together. We have it tight.
We're way ahead of the curve.
We have great communication skills. Like, everyone knows, it's really transparent. No, I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. I didn't ask the question. I just want to go into the chat for a second. Renzo says, as a Cowboys fans, what do you think about the Redskins losing their name? We don't care. More so the sense of tradition. I can care less. We're still going to go into Washington and spank them. So what do you guys think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was something that they've been pressing for a long time. And so I think the pressure finally got to them, and they finally gave in because they got hit where it matters the most, which is in the wallet. So I think that the people in Washington are clever enough to keep the tradition alive, but come up with the new branding name of it. I personally had an idea that I thought was foolproof, but I wasn't going to give it to them. Use like a hog, because they always call themselves like the Hogs, and maybe like make it red, and maybe keep the Redskins name. So there's certain things they could have did, but I don't know. I think they're gonna go back to the drawing board. They'll come up with something creative, and people will adapt. I mean, at the end of the day, football is football, and you really don't care. I mean, granted, I would be mad if the Cowboys star just magically disappeared, but Are we winning? Are we winning football games? I mean,
I don't know. The Star's not racist, so.
Yeah, is that why I saw people like, well, Cowboys killed more Indians, and I'm like, oh Lord, please just
man.
stop. Just stop.
So Megan, you also don't.
It's okay, but the Cowboys aren't a slur, so.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
man. Listen, sorry, I just want to jump in the chat. My man, Silver and Blue, Big Game James.
James. What's
Salute,
up, bro?
man. Salute to my mentor, man. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Stoodwood Cowboy says, "What's up, Jay?" And everything goes. Everything goes. Would like to do a collaboration with you guys. Listen, my Twitter is here. J Tuck's Twitter is there. Reach us on Twitter, DM us, and we'll definitely hook up a collaboration and get something going. We'd like to do different things with different people. So Megan, before we go, I just want to thank you for tuning in with us. We'll definitely have you back on the show when you're available. Guys, check out their podcast. Please let them know where to find you again, Megan, and where to find your podcast.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for having me on. This was really fun. And you can find us on wherever you listen to podcasts, the Blogging the Boys network. You just subscribe there. We pop up every Monday and Friday.
Perfect. Listen, you got to talk to your partner, Kelsey. We definitely got to have both you guys on. We got to do a full.
Well, we live like right next to each other, right? So I'll have her come over next time and we'll do it like that.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd definitely like to have you guys.
I'm going to say, Megan, you have to tell Blogging with the Boys to unblock me.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I don't know. I have no idea what I did. Like, I just went to look for a day and found out I was blocked. So
What?
Whatever. I don't know.
I can make this happen. I can make this happen.
Please make that happen. Sometimes I start Twitter fires, so maybe there's. But it keeps it interesting when we're going through a draft.
We'll just call it that was your timeout. We'll get you unblocked.
Okay.
So definitely.
Maybe it was probably the Cam Newton jersey that probably.
So
That
definitely,
might have been it.
definitely DM her. Let her know your information so she can make that happen for you,
Yeah.
Jay, man. Listen, Jay, it's always a pleasure. I'm not even gonna say bye to you because I'm gonna speak to you in an hour or two or whatever. Because we definitely. But let the fans know where to find you. Let them know about our Facebook, please.
Yeah, find me on Twitter at jtuck151. Don't block me or mute me. And then also, like I said, I follow all Cowboys fans back, the good, the bad, the ugly, and sometimes I regret that decision. But it's all fun. I love talking Cowboys football with passionate fans like myself. That's what we're all here for, just sharing our love and our passion for this team. And also follow me on my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only. If you're watching on my channel, I appreciate each and every one of you. Comment, like, subscribe, somewhere down there. And then follow us on the Facebook page, Cowboys Fans, so you can stay in contact with me and Sid, and we got a lot of stuff working in the pipeline. So
Yeah, man. Listen, I just want to send a quick shout out to my man Freddie James from Montreal. Listen, there's a huge Montreal event happening at the Royal Mount Drive-In Theater. It's going to be on August, and let me click here just to make sure I'm going to say the right date. I believe it's August 14th. Please August 14th. Tickets are $25. Guys, Freddie James does big things, big entertainer. I've seen this guy. If you want to have a good time, dance, social distancing, of course, definitely.
say, Sid.
Definitely.
Wear your mask.
Yeah, definitely check him out. August 14th at the Royal Mount Drive-In Event Theater. Be sure to purchase your tickets. I will see you there. Please come check it out. Guys, again, thank you for tuning in to the Speak Your Mind All the Time talk show. Thank you for checking out the Dallas for Life channel. Check out my man J Tuck's channel at Cowboys Fans Only. Don't forget to go check Megan out. Go find her on Twitter. She's great. She responds quickly to DMs. Guys, don't harass her for dates. Just talk to her about NFL and football, no problem. But I'm sure she's taken, so guys, don't DM her for that reason. Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Sid, and I'm out.